Good morning, guys. Got an early start today. I wanted to get this out before I get going for the day. Um, I watched Spanky's Be Better Betters last night, the Tout edition, and of course he's right about all of it. These people are as low as it gets, as low as it gets. They're just common criminals um, that smile and pick your pocket while they're smiling at you. So this is what you're dealing with. Um, I got involved. It wasn't a back and forth. It was I made a point. I got shot back at, and I fucking ignored it because it's when you have the mindset that I'm going to mention, you have no shot to win anyway. So the point I was making, one of these touts, I'm not even going to mention them. Fuck them. They're all the same. Put up a poll. Will North Carolina win by two, three, 3.5? Like it doesn't even fucking matter. So I bet them in the morning minus two flat. Some places went off 3.5, some three. So under the poll, I put the real question is, why would you lay 3.5 when you could have laid two flat this morning? And of course, some guy that knows nothing comes back and says, it doesn't matter. This is the mindset of people that use fucking touts. They have no clue about implied probability. It doesn't even matter to them. Like he said, it doesn't even matter. There's only one problem with that. At 3.5, you're giving up another 3% implied probability, which means you have to win 55. Let's make it $1.20. We're talking. It's really $1.25, but at $1.20, you got to win 55% to break even, and none of you can do that. Certainly, nobody that follows these fucking touts. These touts can't do it for sure over time. Yeah, they have a hot streak. They get played. They steal plays from somebody for a week that knows what they're doing, maybe, and they have a weighty little record, and they'll beat that to death. The losses get pushed under the rug. These people are all the fucking same, and that goes from the big one, and I'm not going to mention the fucking name. You know who I'm talking about? That charges thousands of dollars a month and fucking loses. Anybody that pays them is fucking completely brain dead, or any of the rest of them for that matter. You got to stay away. I didn't realize when Spanky said, this is rampant. I didn't realize it was this prevalent. And I didn't realize people are making the kind of money that they're making. The figures they throw around are fucking astronomical. And this is just a marketing ploy. These people don't even bet. None of them. That goes from the top down. None of them bet. That's factual. That's not some fucking shit I made up. None of them bet. If you're using any of them, I don't care what the names are. I don't give a shit what record they put up. If you're using any of them, you're going to lose your ass off. Spend the fucking time learning some basic math. That's what this business is all about. It's not about who you like, how you feel. You think, you feel you got an edge. They don't even know what an edge is. These people, they have no fucking idea. Just, again, the mindset. Another comment. This one was interviewed in a space. Do you have an edge on any of this stuff? Probably not, they said. So the next day, of course, they didn't even know what the term edge, that it even existed. So the next day they got to play. There's an angle there. I got an edge on 3 games. And the response underneath by the people that follow these touts was, what's an edge? These are the kind of people that are just going to get raped and abused. You're never going to win. All they're doing is, as Spanky said, using your money to either support a fucking drug habit or because they're degenerate gamblers. That's what they're doing. They have no risk, zero risk. They're using your money for whatever their freak is. I don't know what it is. Could be drugs. A lot of these people are fucking drug addicts. A lot of these people use your money to go out, have a party, women, whatever the case may be. This is what you're giving your money to. And you're not hearing the stories. Again, I said this the other day. How about the people whose lives are destroyed by these animals? They lose their home. They lose their wife. Some of them kill themselves. You want to Google it. See if I'm bullshitting you. if people didn't kill themselves over these fucking tout rats. This is what happens at the end of the day. If I get this YouTube shit figured out, they got me at 15 minutes. I got to figure that out because I got stories about these fucking guys back in the day. One of them no longer available. Let's just put it that way, because he fucked with the wrong person. So these people are no good. They're not going to win for you. All they're going to do is take your money. They're going to feed you a lot of bullshit. It's going to be the we'll get them tomorrow attitude. We'll get them next week attitude. Look at my record from last year that nobody ever saw before. This is a big marketing ploy that if you get suckered into, you really got to rethink your position because you're just being played for a fool. And that's every tout that exists. Anyone that sells picks, anyone that sells any of this shit, gonna make you rich. You're gonna get an edge. Look at my calculator. It's all bullshit. All this stuff, all these calculators, you can get for fucking free online. All of them. I am not a math wizard, but I had spreadsheets built that in a second it gives me the same results that all these bullshit sites that are selling you something, and for big money, by the way. You don't need it. This is 2025, not 1975. I knew a guy, how much time I got? I knew a guy that I became friendly with years ago. He went by Reed Harris. This is a true story. They're all true stories. He went by Reed Harris. He started in this tout shit. He was one of the pioneers in the 60s. Now, there's no computers then, obviously. He did mailings. He got hooked up eventually offshore. I believe it was Skybook. So he hits me with this bullshit. You know, I knew the bartender. The bartender had called his baseball stuff in, and he made like 30, 40 grand for the baseball season, no risk, which is great. Somebody offers you that, you take it. So it was football season now. We became friendly. We were hanging out every night, dinners, the whole shit. Guy made a lot of money in this business. And he said, you know, I just want you to call my bets. And he said, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. So I'm calling. I don't even know where I'm calling at this point. So we're calling. He's betting 5, 7 a game, losing. He was good when he was good and bad when he was bad, like all the fucking rest of them. Losing. I said, Bobby, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't know where this shit's going, but I hope they don't have my number. No, don't worry about it. I get a call. It was around Christmas. This is a long time ago. I get a call from some guy. Now he's got my number. He said, you Tony? I said, yeah, who the fuck are you? He said, I'm so-and-so from, I think it was Skybook. From Skybook, and you owe me a lot of fucking money. I said, I don't know. I don't owe you anything. I don't bet. What are you talking about? Do I have an account there under my name? He said, no, but you're putting plays in for your friend. I said, who's my friend? He said, Bobby. I said, you need to talk to fucking Bobby about that, not me. I said, listen, I'm going away with my family. I don't have time for this bullshit. He said, don't you think you should fucking call me before you make plans on going away? I said, listen. I said, don't ever fucking call this number again. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but you're picking on the wrong fucking guy. Don't scare that easy. I said, my next call is going to be to Bobby and straighten this shit out. So, long story short, this is where this whole tout thing leads you. They're all crooked. They're all fucking criminals. They're all beat artists, all of them. So at the end of the day, Bobby had to call down there. And of course, he sent all his customers down there to bet, and he had a half sheet coming back to him on their losses. So he was getting paid both ways. It didn't matter. Didn't matter. That's what they do. Now, this is a guy I hung out with every day, put me on a hook for over 6 figures. That's what he owed them. So the guy kept his half sheet, the book, whoever this fucking guy was, kept their half sheet, kept his half sheet, and that's how we got paid off. That's where this business will lead you. You get sucked in by these guys. That's They mean you nothing but harm and devastation. Nothing good will ever come from it. There's nothing good about them. This is a criminal mindset. These people are fucking scammers from the jump. None of them are going to win for you. I don't care what the website says. I don't care what bullshit they tell you on the phone. I knew another guy. I don't even want to mention his name because he's a fat piece of shit. If I mentioned his name, he went from, I'm the best, to, well, don't expect to win when you call me. This is to save you money. This is his new spiel now. And now then he disappeared. This is a few years ago. This is what these guys are all about. They got an answer for everything. They're really good marketers. Like, they don't need your money. They're doing you a favor by taking your money. That's what they want you to think. So please, I'm going to do a fucking series of this shit. I got plenty of stories on these fucking lowlives. So take it for what it's worth. And what it's worth is saving you a lot of money and maybe worse. Like I said, when things get really bad, people get really desperate and bad shit happens. I'll tell a story tomorrow about this fucking lowlife that made a mistake online with me. He dealt with the wrong fucking guy. He dealt with the wrong guy. So please, please spend your time learning some basic math. If you learn basic math, I'm talking about basic math. This is not, you don't have to be a fucking math whiz. You know, there's a way to do this that if you put in time, and it's not going to be a week, it's not going to be a month, it's going to be years to figure out what's going on. Especially now, this is not the 80s anymore. You know, I got a story back in probably 2009. I'll tell that story another time. I was sending a bunch of guys to a certain book, and you could check with the guy that fronts for them on Twitter, and he knows exactly who I am and what we did to them down there. You know, we weren't going to get paid. I'll tell the story another time. But that's it for now. Please, if you're even thinking about maybe there's something shady with this guy, I promise you 100% he's a piece of shit. Or she, by the way. These women, a lot of them, I call this what do I call it? I call it the stripper model. Think about, everybody's been to a go-go bar, I would assume. Talk to a stripper maybe once in their life. If you've talked to them for any amount of time, you'll find out that there's a fucking deadbeat home laying in bed waiting for them to come home. They're pimping these girls out, in essence, while they sit home and get high. I know some of you have heard this story before, and they all have the same story. This tout shit's no different. They have a boyfriend, he's a fucking low-life piece of shit because he doesn't have the balls to do what he's making them do. None of them have any skill, none of them. But any guy that makes their girl do that is a piece of shit because he's gutless and a fucking coward. He's too much of a coward to do it himself, so he puts his girl there because he thinks she'll get less heat. That's it. That's it. Anyway, enough of this shit for today. Let me get to work. I hope, somebody listens because this needs to stop and it needs to be ended. And you could be the person that, maybe you get somebody else, maybe you get away from, maybe help somebody else get away from it. Maybe somebody gets away from this shit because it's rampant. It's an infestation. You're never going to win. So just take it for what it's worth. I've seen all this shit 1,000 times before. Just stay away from them. All right. That's it for now, guys. I'll get back with another episode of this probably tomorrow morning. You guys have a good day. Best of luck.